I was scrolling through some of the comments people leave us, and there was one on, I think, YouTube. It was that said something like, "Good luck finding men."
Oh, yeah. Typical.
It made me wonder, do other men think we're looking for men? Like, is this like a thing where you think that our mission in life is to look for a man? Like, I don't know. Do I have a sign that says I'm looking for someone?
Yeah.
Do you have a sign? And
No.
is it invisible? Is it that we as women can't see it? Apparently, our whole mission is to find men, Maria.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, according to this young man or older man, I don't know who he is, he thinks we can't find men. Here's a tip, my friend. Well, first of all, Maria is not looking for a man. Neither am I, because she has a man. So, I don't think it's ever been a problem for us to find partners. But the other thing is to think that why would we want to? Like, if we were single, why would we want to if what we've seen is lackluster? Right? I mean, they're not all charmers.
It's definitely hard to find someone who's worth it nowadays.
Mm-hmm. So why put ourselves through that? So we're going to talk a little bit about that, about the charming words men send to us to flatter us. And yes, welcome to the show. This is episode
24.
Sex,
Relationships.
careers,
And just plain life. From the experience of two Latina actresses.
Welcome to the Unfiltered. Hi, I am Vanesa Tomasino.
And my name is Maria Bruson.
Before we get started with the whole men chat, I just wanted to add something that somebody mentioned from our last podcast when we talked about Barbie. That really made me think about that, and it's true. We mentioned that the patriarchy wasn't the right choice for governance, but we also mentioned matriarchy.
Mm-hmm.
But then I thought about it, and this comment made me think about that, is that we actually don't know what a matriarchy looks like. Because a matriarchy is not the opposite of patriarchy. It's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's this argument, I was reading more about this, and there's this argument that says that if we actually experienced a matriarchy, it wouldn't be a copy of what we have about women in power, but rather you're looking at a different type of governance altogether. More empathy, different priorities on social governance and rules and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Sense.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be a copy of patriarchy, but with women leaderships, but instead we're looking at a completely different system.
Mm-hmm.
So I take it back. I didn't say matriarchy was bad. I was ignorant in my words, Maria. We don't know what a matriarchy would actually look like. So
Yeah, we don't know.
it could work.
It could not. We don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah.
So, but matriarchy is not the opposite of patriarchy. So I just wanted to clarify that. And then one more thing. Alan. We didn't mention Alan last time.
Such a great character.
He's a great character. And let me tell you why. My take on Alan is that Alan represents a different type of masculinity. He's definitely just a man who knows who he is. He knows what he wants.
Doesn't need validation or
he doesn't need validation. He accepts that he's friends with Ken. He mentions it many times. I'm friends with Ken, and his clothes fit him too. And then he's friends with Barbie, and he has no issues. And the one moment that nobody has ever talked about this, but it's my favorite part of the show, is when Alan is trying to escape. And he's trying to escape. No, he's trying to escape Kendom.
Yeah,
Kendom. And then he starts hitting all the construction workers. But if you think about this, it's very contrasting because it shows that the character of Alan only uses his strength when needed. Mm-hmm. It shows that he is that strong masculine man when he has to, but he chooses not to be violent most of the time because he doesn't need that validation.
Yeah. To me, he's a man who's in touch with his femininity and his masculinity.
Yeah.
And they just live in harmony. I just love
he lives in harmony. Yeah. That's why there's only one.
I love how people point out like, oh, Alan's gay. Like, That's just, to me, it's
Yeah.
the most crazy thing that people like took out of the movie. Oh yeah, just like Alan's like non-conflicted because he's gay. Like what? Like what made you think and what made you jump to that conclusion?
It says a lot about our culture when we can't
Yeah.
identify a
Yeah.
different type of masculinity.
And nothing
Uh,
wrong with being gay. It's just
no,
like, why do we just assume just because a man is
different.
different and not like, up in your face, trying to be, authoritative about
Hmm.
anything and everything,
Hmm.
he's just gay? Like, why?
Yeah. No, because our brains are so small and we don't process things very well because we are so small as humans. We barely
Well,
think.
the rest of the people, because I understood the
Oh no,
character.
me too. I'm just saying.
Like,
I'm saying the mess.
don't throw me into
I
the bad punch.
mean, I'm just saying Alan is fantastic.
Yeah.
He's such a great character because he doesn't need anyone's validation. He does what he wants. He even says, "Yeah, I'm tired of sitting on these leather sofas," because guess what? Leather sofas look amazing, but they are hard to sit on.
Yeah,
They're
they're
shitty.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, but they look amazing.
Yeah.
And so he's right to say, they're uncomfortable. He has no filter because he doesn't have to please anybody. And he shows that he is as strong as a masculine man
What a
when he
great
has to
character to
be.
play, honestly.
I know Michael Cera, you rocked. I mean, I don't know Michael, but I hope that he really enjoyed playing Alan.
I bet he did. I bet he did.
So good. So yeah, so that's the end of Barbie. If you have any more comments about Barbie, throw them our way because I can talk about Barbie
All day.
forever. So let's talk instead about the charmers at the Mojo Dojo Casa
Casa
House.
House.
I mean, I've been called many times a man hater, which I find funny because I love men. I mean, it's weird. But a
Mhm.
lot of people, just because I'm critical of masculinity, which by the way can be found in females as well, so it's just not men.
Mhm.
A lot of people think that I don't like men.
Mhm.
But I gotta say, I mean, the messages we get sometimes from them, they're just sad. It's like, I mean, not all men are creeps, but
Some of them, let's just say, their intentions are questionable. Like, I don't understand, like, what's the point of that message or comment or whatever.
mhm. Why do they think that they can send some random message and that they will get a positive reply? Now, being fair, I've had this conversation with my male friends, and their argument is, well, that's what women want. Like they want us to tell them that they're hot. They want us to tell them that they're wanted. They want us to compliment them on their everything that they've done, extensions, fake nails, eyelashes, blah, blah, blah. And so their argument is women made us this way.
Hmm.
I know that you're not buying that argument.
Um, I think that very few men know what women actually want.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I would say that too.
Very few men. Because, okay, so you get an unsolicited
I'm looking for them right now.
message.
Yes.
For example, yesterday I was doing my usual Sunday TikTok live,
Mm-hmm.
and
I love
my
how you call them usual Sunday
now
TikTok
I
live.
do
It's a
lives every
thing.
Sunday.
I
It's a
love
thing,
it.
8
I love
p.m.
it.
Um, and my boyfriend was watching the live because, as he should, and as he
Sorry,
loves,
not just your boyfriend, your fiance.
fiance.
I mean, I'm just putting it out there
Yeah,
for the man who
I'm
thinks that we can't
taken.
find men. Like the question, my friend, is how to get rid of them when we don't want them.
Yeah,
Continue.
so he was watching my live as he should and as he loves, because he loves to support me and I
Hmm.
love that he supports me. As stupid as a live may sound, but whatever. And this,
Don't minimize your
and
work.
I'm not
I
minimizing,
think,
but just like,
yeah,
I mean, I think it's like something like really funny and like
I think you
insignificant,
do
just to like
really
have
great.
fun.
Yeah, I think
So,
you have fun lives. I
mhm.
like them.
So some like this random person, man, whatever, boy, I don't even know what he was, just commented like, "Hey, do you know where I can find a chess set to find like a queen like you, like something stupid like that. And I'm like, okay, first of all, my fiance is watching, and even if he wasn't, I will still call you out. I called him out, like,
Yeah.
hey, this life is not about, you know, pickup lines or whatever, and it's not, definitely, most certainly not about chess. So please respect. I'm also engaged, so I don't know, just disrespectful, you know. But what's the what's the thinking behind saying something like that?
I mean, yeah, the
Do you
question
really
is,
think I'm gonna like text you afterwards like, hey, let's go on a date?
wait, hold on, hold on, hold on.
Is it to intimidate me?
Let's play this scenario out. Please humor me. So he sends the message, "Hey baby, where can I find a chessboard so I can find a queen like you?"
Yeah.
And then let's go with the flow. Then you reply something like, "Yeah, I like this. Go ahead." What would you say? Just pretend.
No, I can't.
Oh my god, just play
Just
along. What
kidding.
would you
Okay.
say? Like
So
what could somebody realistically speaking say?
okay, so oh, thank you so much.
You're such a sweetheart. What's your what's up? No, they would say your IG. No. What would you
Your
say? Your
iMessage.
Snapchat. What's your do you have a Snapchat?
Yes.
I love the voice. Yes. You sound like Snow White.
I'm like a damsel in distress because I
Yeah.
feel
Well,
like
no,
that's what they
let's go with
want.
that. Let's go with that.
Like,
So yes.
yes, it's blah blah.
Okay. Now we move forward to Snapchat. Okay. So now secretly sending messages. Wow. Look at those eyes.
Oh, thanks. Like I just can't go
Where
like
do you go from there?
yeah, like where like it's just it's
Well, maybe after comes a dick pic.
unsolicited.
Unsolicited, by the way. And here goes. And then
Oh,
you say,
jump scare.
oh,
I'm like,
boing.
wow, thanks.
Well, thanks.
But like nice. I don't like
Yeah,
well,
like what do you say? Like, okay,
it's like my
okay.
thing is you know nothing about me. You don't know what I like, what I don't like,
Mm-hmm.
my everyday.
Yeah.
You don't know if you're my type because I do have a type. Sorry, I do. I'm not gonna apologize for that.
No apologies needed.
Like I don't understand it.
Well, the thing is, I don't know where that goes from there. Like, is he expecting you to send a nude?
I just feel like 20th century pickup lines and tactics to get girls are based on like intimidation.
It is because it's like they put you in a corner against a wall, and you're like,
Like,
"Whoa, here's a dick pic. What do I do with this?"
and then if you don't say thanks or if you like,
Yeah,
set boundaries, then you're difficult or you're a
you're a
bitch.
bitch. You're a bitch.
Like, what do you expect me to say?
I do want to circle back to what you just said about they don't know anything about you, and I find it really cute that you think that they want to know something about you.
Yeah.
Like they don't care. Like I mean, I'm not, obviously not a man, but all I'm saying is they find you attractive, right? They think you're
Hmm.
hot. Why would they need to know what you like?
Yeah, they don't give a fuck.
No. And this is the end of the episode. Thank you so much for
Damn.
joining us.
They
They
don't give a
don't give a fuck. Like we're thinking like women. We think like, oh, I
Yeah.
want to, for us, it's not just about the looks. Actually, it's funny because this is a parenthesis. Please bring me back then to my other point because I just want to make a parenthesis. I was thinking about this the other day. I was looking at, pictures that pop up on IG and stuff like that, and they have these advertisements with like hot men and saying dating apps and stuff like that. I don't find them attractive. Is that weird? Is that weird that I look at it?
What, like six packs and stuff?
Yeah, and like I look at someone
Yeah.
like Henry Cavill, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, Henry Cavill," and I'm like, "Sure." I mean, he's not fugly, but it's not. I wouldn't want to date him either.
Yeah.
I also, I'm not saying I like dating unattractive men, but although I think I
I
do.
mean, beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. Like,
But is it beauty though that we're looking for? Like I'm looking for something more. Like
yeah, no, definitely. I
I'm
don't.
look.
I don't care if you look like Ken or have the Kenergy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I don't fuck with you, I don't fuck with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like I looked for something. I looked for something more than just looks, and I found
Yeah.
it, and like that's amazing for me.
Yes. Well, I mean, your fiance is pretty attractive, but so are you. So it's like, it's the same thing, right? I find that it's like you guys are at the same level. But in what I'm saying to me is that I don't find these images of supposedly attractive men, I don't find them attractive.
Mhm.
And even like I was thinking the other day, like Ryan Gosling, he's a very attractive man and I enjoy his work. I really do. As an actor, I respect his work. I think he's amazing. But I still don't find him attractive. Like I still don't think that I would go out of my way to just like get even a picture with him.
But you know, supposedly, like the director of The Notebook, he wanted someone who was not conventionally attractive.
But he's so attractive. Like if you ask
Now,
anybody.
now, but back then,
But I do have, yes, that's true. But I do have to say something.
mhm,
What made Ryan Gosling attractive to me was when I saw his interviews,
yeah,
like when he spoke and
yeah, oh yeah,
when he had pictures with his family, you know. And then I was like, okay, that's a real man. I like that. He has character. He
yeah. He
believes in
has
something and he's
character.
funny. And to me, that was more
Attractive than
attractive.
his looks. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's funny because I'm going back to what you were saying. It's funny that we're thinking like women saying, oh, but he doesn't know me, how can he like me? It's because for us that is important. It's very important to know if we hit it off with that person, like what's inside his brain.
Mm-hmm.
Can he make me laugh? You know, how can he take care of me, you know, rather than if he's attractive. But apparently for men there has to be a very strong component of physical attraction. And I'm not talking about chemistry, I'm talking about physical beauty. Like you say, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So I think it's funny that you think like a woman, that you think, well, I need to get to know him because that's what we would do, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, they don't want to get to know us because they are just okay with being attracted to you physically. Once again, hear me out. Even there have been some times where men fall madly in love with people who are despicable, women who are mean and bad for them, but they are so into them because maybe physically that they were drawn to that and they're willing to put up with anything
Or what they represent.
or what they represent. Absolutely. Yeah, because I think the physical, the whole being attractive to the beauty and that being subjective, it has a lot to do too with the baggage of that image that they're seeing as beautiful.
Because like I've seen many cases of men that marry the women they were supposed to marry and not
Mm-hmm.
the woman that they wanted to marry. For example,
Mm-hmm.
who
Yeah.
they supposed to were
The
supposed to
Notebook,
marry.
right?
Yeah, yeah, it's like Catholic girl
Mm-hmm.
who's, you know, a virgin
Yeah.
and she's a very family oriented person,
Mm-hmm.
but they're mean. They don't let their husbands, you know, hang out with their friends. They they don't work. They don't try to, you know, they don't please their husbands either or themselves
Mm-hmm.
in many ways. Not I'm not talking sexually, but like, you know, affection. How was your day?
Mm-hmm.
Do you need help?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go out on a date. Let's go to movies. You know, they just marry the girl who they think they should marry, not the one that
What
they
looks
wanted
good on
to.
paper.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
or to society.
Yeah, of
Hmm.
course. So coming back to the messages. So I don't know. I mean, I don't take these messages well, to be quite honest. I just delete them
Hmm.
because I actually get angry. I mean, I don't know if you can tell in this podcast, but I think you can. I get angry very easily with things like this. I have very little patience, and I'm a very cold person. I noticed that I know the letters are out, my friends. That's a sign from God. To get a new sign.
I was like, what's that?
um, I am a very cold person, like in my relationships, and I think partially is because I don't ever trust them. I mean, I tried to, but I just find that, or maybe I'm just like that, like very harsh, you know, because I keep it real. Like, you know, the times that I've been very soft, I've been lying, which hasn't helped anybody. You know, if I go like, "Oh, sweetie," blah blah blah, and inside I'm like, "Whoa, Megadeth," you know, like I hope you burn in hell. Um, I just like to keep it real. But yeah, so I got this message from the other day from this guy or this man, I don't know. His picture was really weird. He had sunglasses. Who the hell takes pictures with sunglasses? I mean, anyway, do you have pictures with
Yeah,
sunglasses?
I do.
Fudge.
Sometimes I hate my face.
My okay. So maybe he hated his face, which does not help his cause. So he sends me a message. He's like, "Hey, darling, you're beautiful. I love your curls and blah blah blah. And I am a millionaire. I have a lot of money, and I would like to to go out with you. You don't have to give me anything sexual in return, but I can buy anything that you want." And I'm thinking, like a browser town. My first thought is like,
Like,
wait, am I like selling a
so
service
like an
here?
escort,
Yeah, like an
maybe?
escort. Do I have to do anything? He's like, no, you don't have to do anything sexually. I'm like, I'm still an escort. Like, I mean, nothing wrong with people who choose to be an escort, but I have chosen not to.
It's not
So
just not my jam. If we wanted to, we would have been a long time ago. Trust me.
listen. If we had chosen to be escorts, we wouldn't even have this
Yeah,
podcast.
we
We'd
would
be
be
rich. I'd be in, I don't know,
chilling.
Saudi Arabia or something. Like I wouldn't be here. But because we have chosen a different career path, we're here. So yeah, so I didn't know what to answer. I was just like, I don't know, dude. Like, it's not, I mean, I do find it appealing to have somebody take care of me because I'm almost 42 years old. By the way, my birthday's coming up. What are we going to do? You know whose birthday it is today? Our girlfriend Marta in Los Angeles.
Marta,
Marta!
happy
We
birthday!
love you.
We miss you too.
And we'll call you after we finish this. It's her birthday today. So, and my birthday's coming up.
Yeah,
So
I know.
keep that in mind. And so I'm almost 42 years old. I could be a grandmother, remember? I could be a grandmother. I'm not, but I could
You
be.
could.
I could. I would like somebody to take care of me emotionally and financially. I was thinking the other day that I've always taken care of people. I've always taken care of people emotionally, physically, and financially. And I think I've gotten to the point where
It's your turn.
it's my turn. Like
Yeah.
I'm still raising two little boys, so I'm already taking care of them. But I do want to just, if I go into another relationship. By the way, my friend from YouTube, I don't choose. I'm choosing not to be. It's not that I can't find them, my friend. It's just that I choose. It's hard, to be in a relationship. I mean, when you're, I like my life, and I like that when I wake up in the morning, it's me. It's my schedule and
Mm-hmm.
my boys. And, I wake up, I run, I do yoga, I meditate, I shower, I wake up the kids, I take them to school, I come back, I read, I write, I study. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to go back to the kitchen.
And that's totally fine. I mean,
I don't
you.
want to cook again. I don't want another husband. Husband number three. I don't want another husband asking for his meals. Like, where's my food? It's like, dude, you make your own food. I, for one, don't like cooking. I've said this before. I don't like eating either, and I don't like cooking. So for me, I don't want to enter another relationship that is going to make me have to go back to the kitchen when I dislike being there. And don't get me wrong, I will cook for somebody sometimes. I like to make breakfast. I love breakfast, to make breakfast. I think I can pull it off really well. But I don't want to do it every day. I just want to do it in special occasions.
That's yeah.
I don't want to be fighting for the remote control. I don't want to be with someone who says, "Oh, I don't want to watch that." And it's like, well, I do.
Hmm.
I don't want that anymore. And so it's hard, right, to think of going back to another relationship and like, oh, just thinking about it. It's hard for me. So, how did we get here with the messages? Oh, that I wanted someone to take care of me, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if I do get into a relationship, I do want somebody to take care of me for once, but not this sugar daddy, like not this way, not like him, right? I had this other man send me a message of a picture that I posted. I took a picture. I was lying or I was sitting. I can't remember. I took a picture of my garden, but you could see my feet. And so I get this message from this man that says, "Hmm, are those your feet?" And, and I was like,
Ugh.
"What?" And then I had to go back to the picture and like look. And then I saw my feet. I'm like, "Oh shit, my feet," right? And I was like, should I answer this or should I not answer this? But like, I didn't understand. Like, My first instinct as a human being was to respond and be like, yeah, those are my feet because I'm in my house. Like I didn't think much of
Mm-hmm.
it. But then giving it a second thought, I was like, wait, what? Does he have a thing with my feet? Like, is this like pleasure for him? So I removed the picture and I blocked him.
Yeah.
Because like
Ew.
because exactly because ew. And then you will have other men who will say, well, you posted the picture with your feet, so that's the kind of message that you were looking for. For some reason, people think that when we
I
post
hate that
pictures,
narrative. I
me
fucking
too.
hate it.
Me too. I hate that. I
Like,
hate
oh,
that.
he raped you because you dressed nice.
Yeah. Well,
No, he raped me because he's a rapist,
yeah.
not because I want to dress on like a short skirt and
Yeah.
high heels.
Yeah. It's like how they say, how do you avoid rapes? Well, let's get rid of the rapist. Like
Yeah.
that's how you avoid it. It's not don't dress sexy, don't go at night, always be with your girlfriends. Like no, excuse me, it has nothing to do with us. It has everything to do with the fact that our rights
Mm-hmm.
are being violated. Without us wanting that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Even if we wanted to go out in like like a winter jacket, even then it could happen. So it's not us. But I hate that too. When people think that when you post pictures on social media, it's because you want attention. It's like, first of all, we post pictures. Some of us do it because of work, because our IGs are our work. So that thing that I posted on social media that said something like, "Your IG is not for your friends. It's the statement that you want to leave or the mark that you want to leave in the world." And that's kind of like my thing, right? Like when I post pictures of me, I'm not looking for some dude to say nice feet or say, wow, you're hot. I'm leaving it because I actually feel happy. And I also notice there's a correlation between me not posting pictures about me when I'm unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm super happy, there's so many pictures of me either in selfie modes or with friends.
Mm-hmm.
But when I am not feeling good about myself or I'm going through a very tough time, I don't post pictures about me. And once again, you see the correlation. It's not about validation. It's just that I don't feel happy with me. And so we're not posting because we want people to see us. We post because we're making a statement about who we are and what we're the legacy we're leaving behind.
That doesn't mean that there's not people who post because they want the validation, they want the attention. Of course, there's people that want
Of
that,
course.
but there's a lot of other people like me that I just post because, first of all, it's my work, it's my job.
Actually, for you, it's your job because you have a
Yeah,
lot of companies also backing you up, right?
yeah,
Yeah, that's a
and
job.
also because I just feel good about myself. I like how I look right now, and I just want to fucking post a picture, and that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. When you're
Yeah.
happy with who you are, you will post a picture about
Mm-hmm.
you. And I also find that it helps me look back because I lose my pictures all the time. Like I'm the
It's
kind
also
of
like
person.
like a digital scrapbook of your life. Like,
Exactly.
you know,
Because I forget
me
shit.
too.
And then I lose phones, I break them, I never download the pictures to my computer. And I know I don't use the cloud. I do have an iPhone, but I don't know how to use that thing.
The cloud.
And so, seriously. And so I lose my pictures. So what I do is when I post them online, they're forever there. So I go to my memories and I can see that. One thing I noticed, for example, is that I was looking back at my pictures and I back in 2019, I was so proud of the way that I felt and looked that I would always wear high heels and I would
Mm-hmm.
wear nice clothes and my makeup was always perfect and my hair was perfect, although I was wearing my hair straight and super blonde. And
Oh
then
yeah, I
yeah,
remember 2019.
I
Yeah,
am going back to the blonde by the way on
I know.
Wednesday. Okay. We'll see how that goes. But I find that now my pictures are so different. I'm not saying it's better or worse. They're just different. And then I got this reminder of how I looked in 2019 and I was like, "Oh my god, I look so happy and so gorgeous." And then I look now and I'm like, "Oh my god, I look so sad." Yeah, so it is a scrapbook for our lives and I'm not looking forward to those unsolicited messages of weird men just sending stuff like, "Hey,
Mm-hmm.
why haven't we met?" I got that message the other day that said something like, "How come if we're so much alike, we've never seen each other in person?"
Ugh,
I'm like,
creep.
I actually know. I don't have no words. I don't know what I would say to him. Like I was just like, man, delete, right?
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. What are some of the gems they've sent you?
Well, that the thing that happened yesterday, also like just like people, well, not people, men,
Hmm.
and by men I mean this specific movie director,
Mm, yeah,
that I just literally, I
the
just,
predators.
yeah,
Hmm.
it's just like, well, not anymore because I put a stop to that,
Good.
but he would always like reply to my stories like those eyes, and like your um your face, you have such a beautiful face, and just like stuff, like I mean like things,
You're like
like
your eyes.
but
Yes,
like
I can
my
see.
story is literally like about anything that has nothing to do with like my physical appearance. It could be literally anything, just like me commenting on what a shitty day I had on my story,
Hmm.
and he's like those eyes, like, can you not, can you not, I can't, it's just so uncomfortable.
Yeah. And so the idea of going out into the dating world and really like engaging with men. I mean, I say men because we are heterosexual normative. So I say men, but for some other people too, dating in the LGBTQ community might be hard as well. I mean, just dating overall is really hard, and I think I don't know, I'm so worried of those kind of conversations and situations, and who are you letting into your life? I don't know. So yeah, those messages. Oh, by the way, I'm a huge Sex and the City fan, right?
Hmm,
Okay.
hmm.
So I was finishing season 2 of And Just Like That.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I told you what happened when I saw season 1
Yeah,
first,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, I was in shock because I'm
Yeah, you
like,
were
they're
like
old.
crying.
And I was like, I'm old too. I did cry. I did cry. Season 2, I have already accepted the fact that we've aged, so it's all good. But it also, I've seen it for the whole weekend this weekend, and it reminded me who I was. Like I used to be somebody different than the person that I am now. I'm not saying it's bad, the person that I've become, but there was a fun side of me that is no longer there. Like when I used to dress up and travel the world and do crazy things that I don't do anymore.
Go out and stuff.
Yeah, and I was looking at Carrie because I've always felt represented by Carrie Bradshaw. She has been like, not only we have the same hair,
Mhm.
and she's done the same thing that I did. We straightened it for years, and then I've gone back to my curls. She stayed with her straight hair. But everything she does, she's a writer. I'm a writer. She's a freelancer and all this stuff, and she's had multiple loves and stuff like that. I feel very, very represented, very seen
Related.
by Carrie Bradshaw. Yeah, and
Really.
there are times where she's annoying, and there are times where I am annoying. So I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. And so I've been watching all the episodes, binge watching this weekend, and he reminded me who I was. But not only that, he reminded me who I was in regards to relationships and dating. Because I'm not dating anymore. Like I haven't dated in years. And it's just because I don't want to. Like I really don't want to.
Mhm.
So the invitations that I've had, I've declined just because I just don't feel like it anymore. I feel like I've outgrown that. But then watching the show, I was like, oh my God, I remember that. I remember when I used to do that. I remember and then seeing Carrie, there's a scene where she's like sleeping with this guy and she just goes, he's not right for me. And she has the balls to immediately say to his face, like, you're not the one. I don't want to sleep with you anymore. I mean, it's been great, but I
Like
want
goodbye.
something else. Bye. And I was like, damn, I want that superpower to be able to say to people, I don't want you in my life.
Hmm.
And I'm not just talking about relationships, I'm talking about friendships too.
Yeah.
Have that ability to say, I love myself so much that I know that you're not right in my life. You're a good person, but not for me.
Hmm.
And she just did it like that. And I was like, damn, I want that superpower
It's
again.
hard, yeah. I mean, for me, with men, it was never hard to do that. But
Mm-hmm.
with my friends, it is. To this day, I can't just close that door with a
Mm-hmm.
lot of friendships that I know are toxic for me, that I know that affect me,
Mm-hmm.
and that I know that they don't give a single damn about me or my feelings or
Yeah.
how I feel.
Maria, is there something you're trying to tell me indirectly?
Yes, goodbye. Just kidding.
Bye.
No, 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 no. But I think that they know who they are. But
Hmm.
yeah.
But I do, but I mean, 50% of it, you got it right. I mean, you do have that ability to say bye to the incorrect man.
With men, yes.
Yeah. See, I'm a people pleaser. Even when I know they're not right for me, I stay because I feel sorry for them. And I'm and I'm waiting for, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop, and be like, I'm leaving, or hoping they will break up with me and be
Mm,
like, you're done. I'm like, yes, I am. Bye. Um, but I wish I had that ability that you have, just to say no because you're not right for me. And with my friendships, it's the same thing. I've had toxic friendships forever.
hmm.
And I'm not, I mean, I'm to blame because I'm staying there. But I recently stopped doing that. And I recently started telling these people, I need to get you out of my life. Obviously, they get angry. Holy shit.
Hmm.
They've said everything like, you and you don't care about me, blah, blah, blah. I block them from everything, and because I think zero contact actually does work
It does.
for your mental well-being. It works, not talking to people who are toxic. I was talking about that with a friend of mine because she was saying the same thing. She's like, oh my god, this Jude friend of mine is so toxic, blah blah blah. And I finally got him out of my life, and I was like, I know. And she's like, yeah, it's just some people are not meant to be in our lives. They're meant to teach us a lesson. And I'm finding that if we understand that they're just there for a time to teach us, then it's easier to let go
Hmm.
and to say, you know what, I've outgrown you. Go your path and I'll go my path.
And most likely they've outgrown us as well.
Yeah,
Like it's not a bad thing. I just feel like, yeah, people pleasing is a big problem
it's a problem.
nowadays because you're trying to, put yourself first, but you have to take care of them too. And
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to hurt them, but you don't want to hurt yourself either. So it's easier to hurt yourself than to hurt others. So you're
Yeah,
just, it's just so confusing.
and you lie to them. When they're like, hey, do you enjoy spending time with me? And you're like, yeah, I
Yeah.
do. And
Hmm.
inside you're dying.
Yeah.
People pleasing.
People
So
pleasing.
people pleasing, and that sometimes happens with the messages too, right? Like sometimes I think when I get those weird, creepy
Yeah, just
messages,
like, you can like the message to like not make them feel bad or something, or like,
yeah,
hey, thanks, but no, we don't have to do that. I don't have to like say thank you for something that, I did not ask for a compliment. I did not ask for you to reply to my story where I was doing literally nothing that had to do with my eyes or my looks or how pretty I am.
and see, this is why I like being your friend, because you're right. Like, there's no reason why we should reply to something that we don't accept or approve of.
Also, my fiance, he said like that's disrespectful to me because you're
Yes,
entertaining something.
yes.
Like he knows that I can't control what other people say or
Mm-hmm.
message me,
Mm-hmm.
but he says it's your responsibility to cut that off right out of the bat.
Yes.
You cannot entertain that because that's disrespectful to me. I don't care what other people do or say. I care what you say and what you do and how you respond to that. And yeah, I mean, it's been a challenge because obviously I don't want to seem like a bitch, but it's not me being a bitch. It's me setting boundaries and
Yes.
respecting my relationship.
I love that because I
Hmm.
think that you're right. If we turn it around to the other person, if we put the focus on the other person and not on us, like on us saying, "Oh, I'm just embarrassed to not reply because he'll think I'm a
Yeah.
bitch." But if we think like, "Oh, my boyfriend or my fiance is going to be disrespected by me replying," and he's absolutely right, then
Hmm.
it's easier to delete that message and ignore or left on seen, or because it's disrespectful to the other person.
And a lot of people confuse two different things. Like people say, like, oh, they ask me, like, is Carlos a jealous person? And I'm like, no, he's not. And they're like, come on, he must be. He has to be because, and I'm like, no, he just tells me every single time.
Hmm.
He just tells me, okay, would you feel comfortable if I did that to you?
Hmm.
And if the answer is no, then you shouldn't do that either.
The old switcheroo.
Yeah. He's like,
Hmm.
I mean, he's okay with anything.
Yeah.
Obviously, he has his boundaries, but he always tells me and he reminds me, just switch it around and ask yourself, would you feel disrespected if I liked someone's message saying, oh, you look so handsome? And me entertaining
Yeah.
that, would you like that? I'm like, hell no. He's like, okay, so then don't do it.
This is the same thing with the likes on Instagram, which,
Yeah, like he would never. Actually, you know what he asked me the other day? He's
yeah.
like, hey, babe, whatever.
Hmm.
Do I have to like your pictures on your makeup profile of other girls? And I'm like, no, if you don't want to, don't like them. I'm like, I just feel uncomfortable liking other girls, but I know it's your work and I want to support you, but I don't know if that's right.
I love him.
And I'm like, damn, like I would never, I would have never thought that that was such a conflict in his head to like
Mm-hmm.
other girls' pictures, even though it's my professional makeup Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, do whatever feels good for you.
Man, you're winning. You seriously
I
are
am
winning.
winning,
You are
but
winning.
it took me a long time to find someone like him.
I was going out with this guy,
Mhm.
and he was liking pictures of my friends in a bikini and stuff like that, and half naked, and because we have friends in common, and I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, what are you doing? Like, why are you liking her
Mhm.
pictures? Well, what's the problem? She's my friend, and she's your friend too. So what's the problem? I'm like, okay, if you're not seeing this, we have a problem. You
Yeah.
know, like it's like, oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah.
No, you're winning. I think somebody who's that aware of, hey, this may seem inappropriate, is like, he's got his feet on the ground.
And I still have trouble, being able to identify situations that disrespect him
Mm-hmm.
still to this day. I still,
Mm-hmm.
and we've had a couple of like, not fights, but we've had like these like heated conversations about like something that I did unconsciously because I'm a
Mm-hmm.
people pleaser or whatever, or because I did not see, for example, someone commented
Mm-hmm.
something on my TikTok and I did not see that it was his name, like it was a man.
Mm-hmm.
I did not read
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
username,
Yeah.
and I answered like
Mm-hmm.
thank you,
Mm-hmm.
and I did not notice that that would be entertaining a man
Yeah.
commenting like compliment. So
But and also I do have to say that you have been single, I mean, and not because you can't find a partner, but because you chose to
I
be
chose,
single
yeah.
for longer than you've been in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So I think part of our brains is still in that independent mode,
Mm-hmm.
where I, because that happens to me all the time. When I'm dating someone, I keep on forgetting that we're starting to build a we, and I just talk in an I.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me it's very easy to be like, oh yeah, hi, thank you,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm thinking of me. I never think of like, hey, wait, did I just answer a message that could potentially lead to like an opening door of
Mm-hmm.
saying i'm
Yeah.
i'm willing to engage in a conversation
Yeah,
with you.
totally. Mm-hmm.
So you're right, I think we forget, and it's totally not, you're not doing it to hurt him, it's just we're
No,
in
no,
that
no. And he
mode.
knows that, but he's
Yeah.
just like trying to, bring it to light. Like, hey, makes me uncomfortable.
That's good. That's good. I think the next episode we should talk about trust,
Yeah.
because I think that's one of the my biggest issue, trust. And it's not trust in like people being unfaithful, because to be quite honest, I don't care about that. Like if somebody's like, I don't know if any of my partners have been. I'm assuming that someone at some point must have been, but I don't care, because the moment I see that, I'm gone. Like
Mm.
I'm barely there in the relationship anywhere. Anyway, most of the time I'm in the relationship because I'm sort
Oh
of
my
like barely there.
gosh.
But the moment somebody, like, if they cheat on me or if I found out, I'd be gone, right? Being unfaithful is not my trust issue. I think my trust issue is lies in general, not
Yeah.
knowing who you are. Like, I'm this is my fear. Listen to this. My fear is that one day I wake up and I look at the person next to me and I'm like, fuck, you're a serial killer and I didn't notice it.
Yeah.
That's my fear of
Yeah.
having somebody who's a thief, a criminal, a bad person overall. Like, if there's chaos in the world, I'm thinking here like DC world, right? If there's chaos in the world and I'm a superhero and they're the villain and I didn't see it,
Mm-hmm.
that bothers me. So I trust no one.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to know how you manage to trust your fiance, because
That's a good topic for next episode,
I don't
honestly.
know how to do that.
Yeah.
I don't. And I'm so smart that I can see red flags. And so the moment I see a red flag, I'm already like planning my exit strategy. It's like, and then they try to like say something like, oh no, I didn't mean that. And I'm like, sure you didn't. And in my mind, I already have a plan, right? Like,
Yeah.
like what flight I am taking to Paris. Yeah, I just don't trust anybody. And that being said, also friendships. I'm not just talking about men, I'm talking about my friendships too. It's
Mm-hmm.
like,
Mm-hmm.
I just don't trust people. So I think that that's a good topic of conversation for next episode.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, send us your messages to our socials. You can find Maria at,
MF Bruson on Instagram and TikTok.
and you can find me. I don't even want to say it anymore. Maria, please say it.
as Vanessa Tomasino, one N, one S.
Thank you, darling. You say it much nicer. So we will see you next episode. Thanks for listening to us today.
Bye.
Ciao.